friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name's Dalia, and today we're going to be working on my medieval witchy island Grim Isle, doing part 2 of my plaza / resident service build. If you guys saw my last video for this island, we completed a town square, or an abandoned town square, and started working on my plaza area. So you're probably wondering, like, okay, so what's the part 2 section of this build? So let's head over to the area we're going to be building, and I'll explain what we're going to be working on today. It's this way. I went the wrong way. Okay, so this is what we built in the last video. If you guys saw it, we created this really fun abandoned town square, completed with its own bell tower. It's really overgrown, it's very rustic. I'm absolutely in love with the way that it turned out. And then we also worked on this little plaza area as well. So pretty much my entire island is meant to be abandoned. It's supposed to be like an abandoned lost kingdom, but obviously because I have my shops, I need to make a couple of areas that are more like, you know, renovated and lived in. So that's what this section of the island is. So yeah, we're going to be working on my shops today, and then also completing this part of the plaza. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoy. Like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos from me. And yeah, let's leave Audie to her stretches and get started with today's video. So like I said, we're going to be including the shops in this build. Now initially I was actually going to have my shops to the left of my plaza in that like section that you guys saw. As I mentioned in my last video, I didn't complete this section of the plaza. I basically just left it empty because I wasn't 100% sure what I wanted to build there. And I originally was going to have my shops there, but just realistically, I even tried to place them and they just were too big of buildings to really have there, unless I just like did not want to decorate the area around my shops whatsoever, which I kind of thought I was going to do initially. But I wanted there to be like some cute decor, like really nice decor around my shops, and I kind of wanted to have them side by side and not just like in front and behind each other, which is what I would have had to do if I did it directly next to my plaza. So instead we're going to be building them directly behind my plaza. So I did like 2 stairs, and then the shops are going to be in front of either staircase, obviously, as you guys can tell. So right now I'm just counting up the spaces to see how long this cliff is, because I also wanted to include a bridge. I'm not used to really having very symmetrical laid out builds, including like having things be like parallel and matching on either side of the build, if you know what I mean. And this island has been pretty much me just kind of decorating more spontaneously, so I haven't really planned out my builds and haven't really like laid out how I wanted to set up items and build in like houses and things so far. But for this particular build, because this is meant to be a little more structured, I did unfortunately have to lay it out a little more structurally. So I placed a bridge. I thought that the brick bridge looked really good with the stone that I'm using for this section, because I'm still matching the tile stone that I'm using for my plaza area. And then I'm also placing down my shops. What unfortunately bugs me most about the shops is the fact that they're different sizes, which makes making any parallel build next to impossible, because they don't match up on either side. Like, you will see the dimensions are slightly off on either side as I'm placing down pathing, and even like the distances between the bridge between each shop is slightly different, off by like a tile, which really irritated me, and which is why I traditionally don't really love structured builds. But in this case, just like with the intention of the build, it made the most sense. Pretty much the rest of my island is going to be a lot more miscellaneous and unstructured, but for this particular area, it just made the most sense to be more structured, if that makes sense. So I'm just laying down this pathing. Like I mentioned, this is the pathing I use around my plaza. The rest of my island, I'm using a lot more of a randomly placed mossy stone, if you've seen my other videos for this island so far. And then in the more woodsy areas, I'm using this like very greenish brown grass moss design kind of path. But just for this area, because it's meant to look a lot more recently built up and created, I'm using a little bit more of a structured path. This is also the path I've used on my previous other autumn island, so I'm comfortable using it and I really do enjoy it. It's really not like I'm doing intricate pathing with it. It's very, very simple. But anyway, I'm just building up a third cliff because I decided that I wanted to do like a double incline kind of thing, because originally I was just going to put one incline, but a single incline does not sit in the middle of the two shops symmetrically, which once again is like another challenge of building your shopping area symmetrically, but like it looks perfect with the double inclines, which I've never done like a double incline like that, which is like, I don't know, I guess for a medieval island it kind of works. And then I'm placing the castle items behind the shops just because it's still meant to be a medieval island, so I'm just kind of placing them down in a random order because I'm going to be placing the castle gates in front of both of the stone staircases in a few moments. And basically I wanted this area to look like it was built around the ruins of the castles, so the island is still very much in ruin, but there's certain areas that have been decorated or rebuilt, including the areas obviously around the shops. And then I'm placing the castle gates. Thankfully the castle gates actually work perfectly once you have the layout of the stone staircases precise. And then I'm just extending the pathing a little bit just to complete the area once again, just to have it be cohesive on either side. And then we're going to be moving on to decorating. Like I said, I wanted this to be a very more lived-in section of the island, so we're going to be placing a little more of like modern looking furniture, like still medieval, because this is still meant to be like a medieval island, but compared to like some of the other areas on my island where everything looks like it's been like destroyed or people haven't touched it in a really long time, the items I'm going to be placing around the Nook's Cranny and the Able Sisters is going to be a lot more clean looking, I guess you could say. And then also I'm placing these manhole covers on either side in front of the inclines, just because I thought that they looked good on the floor, to be honest. And then I quickly went back to the plaza area and placed a couple of angled signposts just to indicate like the placement of the shops, I guess. And then I started decorating behind the shops themselves. I basically just use them to be kind of like storage, so I'm just placing random items, jail bars, because I love placing the jail bars up against the like shopping areas and then up against the medieval building sides and things like that. I just think it looks really good and it gives like another like medieval kind of vibe to it. And yeah, really there's no rhyme or reason for the items I placed around Nook's Cranny and the Able Sisters. I just try to make it look, I don't know, like storage. So I placed like sewing items around the Able Sisters and then more like, I don't know.
What?
I don't even know what I'm saying. Let's be honest here. I don't know.
Oh. Okay.
Place like a sturdy sewing box and some stack bags, and then honestly next to Nook's Cranny, other than some barrels and wooden boxes. The only thing that I placed that looked like remotely resembling Nook's Cranny in terms of like sellable items is I placed like a veggie basket. Basically, decorating with barrels and wooden boxes has become like my favorite thing to do, just because like you cannot go wrong with just placing barrels randomly in like just very odd places, and it works for the build itself. I don't know. And there's a little veggie basket like I mentioned. See, it looks really good in front of Nook's Cranny. And because I wanted to cover like a little bit of the shops, like my initial idea for the shops was to completely cover them with like medieval building sides or castle walls, or even like the storefronts, just to like hide the more modern look of the shops. But I feel like they're like not insanely modern. Like if you just ignore certain aspects of their buildings, they don't look insanely like modern. They're not like skyscrapers or anything like that. Anyway, moving on to this section of the area, I just built cute little area in front of the bridge with a couple of iron garden benches. And then I'm gonna go back and place a gift pile there, just because I think a little gift pile in the middle of like a shopping area looks so cute, and I've never done like I've never used this item to decorate with, I don't think. And then I initially had evergreen plant thing here, but I decided I want a little more of a walkway area, and the evergreens were just a little bit big. So I replaced them with the plant partitions in this like darker color, and then put the evergreen ashes on the corner right here. I do like the little additional added bit of green that they give the area, because I don't have any actual trees in this section of the island. So just replacing them with like fake plants I think look really nice. And I haven't really used either the evergreen ash or the plant partitions on this island yet, so. And then because I can't not include them, I'm also placing a couple of the spooky items, and I am making them match on either side of the incline. And I use orange in front of the Able sisters, and then the yellow in front of Nook's Cranny. I just wanted to differentiate the colors a little bit. And then I'm placing a couple of more random spooky items just to kind of finish up the space, because all of the areas of my island have the spooky items. And if you didn't know, I'm using all the colors of the spooky items. In all the areas where the island is a lot more lived in, I'm using all of the colors. But in the areas that are a lot more abandoned, so you don't have like a villager's home or any buildings, I'm using the gray. Now moving on to this section of the island, I did not know what I wanted to build here. Basically, I wanted to make it a building. So that's what I'm doing here. I am building a very small cliff just to kind of place items on top of it to make it look like a bigger and taller building. So I'm putting down this kind of cobblestone like pattern. And then I decided to use the gazebo as the roof for this fake building, which led the question as to what I'm going to make this building be, because honestly the ideas are endless. I even asked people on Twitter what I should make this area, and I got so many amazing ideas, including ones I've either already started decorating with on this island or ideas that I'm going to be using in future builds. And my original thought was to make this a church, but because I already have the bell tower at the abandoned section of the town square, it looks a lot more like a church, and I didn't want to have to use the nuptial bell item again so close to the other bell tower that I made, that I decided instead to make this an apothecary. So I already had these shelves downloaded for like a future build idea, and one is a like more of a plant shelf, and one just has a bunch of bottles. So I decided to make an apothecary, because this is meant once again to be an area where the villagers of the island visit a lot more. I decided putting an apothecary here would make the most sense because this is where they can do their shopping. So they have like, you have the Nooks Cranny and the Able Sisters, and then you also have this apothecary where you can go and buy like, you know, your herbs and your potions and other things that you can do like more like witchy things with. I don't know. And because I have my peninsula here, which originally I wasn't going to do anything with my peninsula, I decided to incorporate a small little farm because I haven't done any farms on this island yet. So I decided, you know, like whoever runs the apothecary can have their own little outdoor garden that they can grow random plants, I don't know, things that they can then sell at the apothecary. So I planted some wheat starts and sugar starts, but after I let them grow to the full amount, I got rid of some of them because I also wanted to place some weeds and mushrooms in this area too, because I also wanted it to be kind of like a little mushroom garden and really just like a miscellaneous garden. I didn't want it to be too structured because this whole area is a lot more structured. So because I wanted it to differ a little bit for the more structured area of like the apothecary and the plaza, I'm going to have like mushrooms placed there and just have the garden be like very wild and overgrown. As you can see, I placed down some mushrooms and just like, I wish we could plant mushrooms and have them look like actual plants instead of just like placing them down on the ground. But I've made a mushroom garden before and I just think it looks really cute. So I use a couple of the mushrooms and then I'm just placing some wheat fields and some piles of leaves. And like I said, I just wanted this entire peninsula to be decorated. So I'm just placing like a bunch of like random items down that you could use as like storage. Once again, I'm just placing a bunch of barrels and like other random items down. I don't know, I think it looks really cute. It looks very overgrown. And then because this area right in front of the apothecary is like completely empty, I'm also placing a little log table. It's just meant to be like a little sitting area you can like sit and have some tea in front of. I just know my residents hang out around this area a lot because it's next to the plaza, so I know that I'll definitely get some cute photos of villagers like sitting in this little area. And I don't know, I think it looks really cute. And yeah, we're officially finished with the build, so I just time traveled to a little later on in the evening. Maple is doing her nightly or evening workout. She looks so cute. So yeah, and then look at Deirdre hanging out. Deirdre is always in my outros, I swear. So yeah, without further ado, let's go check out the final build. Alright, that is everything for today's video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed. I had so much fun decorating this build, despite really not knowing what I was going to decorate. I think it turned out really good, so I hope that you guys enjoyed it as well. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, comment down below, subscribe to the channel. And yeah, the next build we're going to be decorating is on my tropical island, so stay tuned for that. It'll be in a couple of days. So yeah, I hope you guys all have an absolutely wonderful day, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!